Hi Gemini, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the channel. This is Naveen Ferguson. I normally say you've reached the channel. Okay, so today we are doing a reading for you for March 1st to March 11th. And we'll be doing the love concept or the concept of love in your life at that time. I say it like that because this reading, I don't know what's going to play out. It could be about you personally. It could be about your family. It could be about friends. It could be about love for self and love for work, career path. It could be, love for a passion of sorts. It doesn't have to necessarily be traditional like love reading per se. It could literally be about someone else as it relates to you. You may not even be in this. For any particular reason, the universe might just reveal some things you may need to know about someone who may be treating you in a love type way within reason. Okay, so the top is going to be your initial reading, and the bottom would have been the extended, but I am going to include the extended in this message. Please remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, and feel free to further support the channel by becoming a Patreon member at patreon.com/Naveen Ferguson. The link is in the description box below, Gemini. Also, I am offering personal readings now, and the information for that is also in the description box below. Okay, so let's get to it, Gemini. Let's see what's going on with you in love, or the concept of love, for March 1st to March 11th. Okay, so right off the bat, you have Two of Cups. Wow, what's coming through is I'm sensing it feels a bit complex. It seems a bit similar to, what was another reading I had recently? Not the one before, but okay, yeah, feels similar to Capricorn, but I think it's a little bit stronger with you in the sense, or a bit more flexible with you, I'll say, in the sense that Gemini, you aren't necessarily focused on love at this time, or the concept of love, but you're open to entertaining it if it should grow. I sense some of you are in a structure of sorts, a relational understanding already, but you don't know if it's like, it hasn't come to that place of love yet. So some of you are already in something, and you're just getting to know the person. Now, what also is coming through with this Gemini is that it is hitting other levels what I spoke before. I think you might be one of the only ones, well, not the only ones, but one of the first ones this is hit with. So some of you are falling more in love with your creative passions. Some of you are falling in love more so with yourself as you are developing and maturing through a dynamic in your life. That could be in career, that could just be in self-worth, self-edification, self-empowerment, learning something and just enjoying the process of whatever it is you're gaining when it comes to skills or abilities, experience, whatever that is for you. So what's coming through here is a huge complex of love for varying levels of Geminis and where you're at. I think you're definitely one of the first ones I got that actually hits a lot of the dynamics. Some of you are also falling in love with a family, I wouldn't say reunion, but I think some of you might have just recently, semi-recently, come to terms or an understanding with a family member, and you're growing back, you're building the bridge back, as one could say. I feel to take a card from the deck. Yeah, look at that. The Knight of Pentacles. This is a slow and steady momentum energy, and that actually hits with basically everything I just said, actually. Because I did say some of you are getting to know someone, some of you are involved with someone or some people. It could be in relational intimacy of sorts. It could be co-worker. It could be, family for some of you, and some of you are falling in love with the process of a career path, meaningful opportunities, really bringing you closer to the type of life you want to live, and you're slowly but surely gaining momentum in your love affair for life in general. And we have here the Knight of Pentacles. This is one of the slower moving, steady moving knights. Okay, they do not haphazardly gallop or trot. Okay, each step is purposeful. Each step has a meaning to it, and each step is building on the last, building something of worth, something of substance, something that is secure, something that will stand the test of time. It brings in levels of wealth, of a harmonious energy, a mature guidance on which to manage that wealth and which to manage those experiences and those connections, okay, and to grow them into more promising venues, especially moving forward in one's life. So that's clarifying the Two of Cups energy that I was feeling that came off right off the bat for Gemini. So let's continue on and see what the love energy is for you, Gemini. Yeah, look at that. The Four of Pentacles. So, yeah, a lot of you, and I think it really is hitting those main topics. So some of you with family, some of you with significant possible relations, co-workers, intimacy, all that kind of stuff. And some of you definitely when it comes to your career path. Okay? So going forward, I think that's unless anything changes, that's definitely the vibe, okay? So, and I'm saying this because I don't want you to, force anything to fit, especially when it comes to love. If this is resonating you, it's resonating with you, great. And if it's not, then, another reading I'm sure will be for you, okay? But what's happening here is that with those subject matters that I just mentioned, you are a bit reserved and you are a bit cautious in how you're moving with your time management, with your resources in investing into these new developments of relationships. Should you really go for it in the sense of a long-term aspect, as it were? Some of you, when it comes to the family dynamic, whatever bridge is being built, I sense that you are burnt. I sense that some people in the family dynamic might have taken advantage of you, perhaps of your resources, of your finances, and they weren't as amicable, or they weren't as fair as or trustworthy as they first led on. And it's like you're building back up that relational aspect, but you're very cautious about what you do, what you say, what you present, how you show yourself, talking about your life in general, how things are going. You're very cautious with details as you slowly give them another opportunity, another try. And some of you are definitely holding on certain resources regarding career paths because you see it. Some of you have your own business, okay, and you're falling in love with it because you're seeing the growth, but you also want to make sure that you have almost like a nest egg for the next stage of things, or if something went awry, you're taking it slow and steady. That's a definite love affair. So at least between March 1st and the 11th, it's very clear, it would seem, that Gemini, you're taking things slowly when it comes to the concept of love. I'm sensing for some of you are also involved in some type of career path whereby you have to have the means in order to perform in a certain way. And when I say means, I mean some of you may have to invest into certain dynamics for your job. Some of you may know that your job might be a bit stressful and you want to make sure that you have the resources to relax, get a drink, a spa day, whatever the sense may be, because you don't want to give more into an opportunity than is reasonable or fair, or for a lack of reciprocity. You're kind of feeling out the career path and seeing the whole guise, the makeup of it. Okay? So that's what's coming through for all of you Gemini. Let's continue on. Yeah, look at that. Makes perfect sense. There's a lot of shrewdness, analytical energy that's coming through for the concept of love for you, Gemini. And we have the Queen of Swords. So once you have, right here with the with the Four of Pentacles, once you have made clear, I sense in words between words, you're making a certain stance clear with those connections. It's not going to be bold and in one's face. You're just going to be speaking in terms whereby it's like, well, yeah, I'm feeling you. Like, let's see where it goes. Let's not take any trips right now together or something like that. Or if they might have offered you for relational dynamic and say, wait, no, it's a bit too fast for that. And, let's continue talking, and you're reserving your pentacles, you're reserving your time, reserving your energy, because you don't want to invest if it's not worthwhile, and you're setting your groundwork, what you're looking for, what you're expecting, should you take things to the next level, you know what I mean, Gemini? The same is going for the family member. You're just letting them know that what happened wasn't cool, and you're willing to give them another try another stance in your life, but there has to be some ground rules set. And of course, when it comes to your business, or even if you're working for another entity or something like that, you yourself are having serious talks with yourself to reserve yourself for the scenes and the unforeseens. Okay? And because of that, once you start getting that game plan together, you're going to then move into the energy of the Queen of Swords, enacting these dynamics further with your action and your mindset. You're going to be very analytical about any message that comes your way in any capacity. You're going to be in a very strong, intuitive, and very intellectual mindset, whereby nothing will escape your grasp, nothing will escape your eye, your keen insight. You're going to be very particular about how messages are brought to you, and even considering the words that are not said, the words in between words. And you're holding yourself up in high regard at this time, especially when it comes to the concept of love, because you know where you're going, you know the lifestyle you want to live, you know how you're changing your life and growing your life. And you're making it very clear by your ambiance, especially by the way you carry yourself, that unless you are endeavoring to climb to this level, you don't really see things going any further. Okay? I sense for some of you, there has been a little bit of level of pain. That's for a handful of you, Spirit said, take card. Yeah, look at that. The King of Pentacles. Unless these individuals are looking to add to your life in some capacity, and not tear it down, to complement your life in some capacity, and to not take away, okay? Unless you can work together within reason and rationality, like they have a sense of purpose, aspirations, ambitions, trying to move forward, trying to really bring to the team vibe, as it were. You're not having it. You need to see the progressed change. You need to see the momentum towards this. They don't have to be the King of Pentacles, yet in any capacity, okay? But you have to believe that they can get there because they're showing it, okay? And I sense for some of you, like I was saying, some of you have been a little bit hurt in the past, whereby the reverse was true, whereby you, Gemini, were the King of Pentacles. I'm sensing that very strongly for some of you, whereby you doted on individuals in your life. You gave and you gave. You were open. You were just approachable and abundant with whatever you had, with whatever time you had, with whoever you were with, that you called friend, that you called family, that you called career path, okay? But something caused a reserved energy, a more cautious and more scrutinizing gaze, which turned you a bit more into the Queen of Swords. That's for some of you, okay? But generally speaking, all the generalized energies around this right now is the Queen of Swords. But I'm just speaking towards those, that small amount that was in an abundant flow of themselves towards others, but something took advantage, and it wasn't in a good way. Hence, also the whole vibe I felt from the Four of Pentacles, Gemini. Okay, so let's continue on and see what the concept of love is. Hold on, I just need to wipe my glasses a bit because I couldn't see for a second. Okay, so next up, the Five of Wands. Okay, so Gemini, what's coming past here is a couple of things. One, because you're taking this stance when it comes to the concept of love, Queen of Swords, you are actually sifting through inadvertently. Some people, it could even be family members, they could attack you and say you're being a bit too extreme. You know what I mean? What about compromising and working with one another? Or when it comes to the state of affairs at your job or the business, when certain clients may try to take advantage of your business or not appreciate what you're putting forth, and they really try to pull one over on you, or the business or the career path is not being necessarily fair in what they're asking you to do, and you have to hold your stance, your ground, in order to make a line of respect, okay, that shouldn't be crossed. Or certain people who may have an interest in you aren't stepping up to the mark that you've already laid out, what you're looking for right now. Some of you could be actually looking for someone who's interested. It doesn't have to be right now, but if you're going to start talking or pursuing anything, just realize that, are you looking for long term or something? Some aren't looking for long term and they just want to have fun, and you're like, nah, I'm just not about that right now. I'm looking for something a bit more meaningful, a bit more steady, towards a possible end. It's not guaranteed that that end is going to be there, but you want the initial understanding that if you do entertain relational structures of sorts, you want to know that that person also has on their mind a possible long term. Okay, it's not like you're putting the ring on it or anything right now. That's not it. But you need to know that their agenda lines up a bit with yours. Okay, before you move further, and some of them may have a bit of contention with that. Okay, so just be aware that that energy may come up, and the spirit is saying take a card. I think you're going to handle that quite well. Yeah, oh my gosh, look at that. So yeah, like I said, Gemini, the energy is going to come up in certain respects, not for everybody, and not to say that it's like, that one person, whatever. Some of you have multiple co-workers or whatever. Some of you have multiple families. Some of you may have multiple suitors, you know what I mean? Whatever the case may be. And you already laid the line on everything, you already laid the groundwork and made yourself known, all that kind of good stuff. And some of them just not gonna really feel that type of vibe. And it's like, you know what? You can't control them. That's what you're telling yourself with the Eight of Cups. Okay, Gemini, you're saying, okay, I understand where you're coming from. Well, that's how I'm moving, Gemini, how you're saying you're moving. And it's like, you don't need the stress. You don't need the stress. You're just letting those cups dangle right there. Those cups, they're not for you. Those cups of emotion and whatever. It's like, that's fine. I don't need that. You're moving on. And you're doing it so casually, laissez-faire almost, because you've made yourself very clear and precise and evident. And if they're not, on that vibe, that trend, then that's fine. You're not even going to try to hurt your head about it. You're just going to move on. Okay, so let's continue, Gemini. Yeah, look at that. The Hierophant. Because you are incredibly serious about this direction in your life. You don't have any more time for games, okay? You don't have any more time to waste for time that has no substance, no possible venture into something more meaningful, You're very concerned, in a good way, about your stability in your life, your resources, your environment, and the type of people you associate with at this time, Gemini. It's like you're leveling your vibrations, your frequency is leveling up in a certain way, and you're being called to a higher level of being, a higher level of state, mindset. Okay? And it's like, you could have fun and all the kind of stuff like that there. But ultimately, where you're at right now is looking forward into a long term, strong possibility. Okay? If you're going to waste time with family members, then you're open and willing to grow the family dynamic in a strong way, but they have to meet you at least halfway, you know? Same thing with relational dynamics, and same thing with the work, okay? You already put the paperwork out there, and it is what it is. You're willing to sign, but are they also willing to sign? Okay? So for some of you, I also sense, and this is a small group of you I'm about to say this to. For a small group of you, I'm sensing marriage in the sense that some of you have been waiting a very long time. And it's almost like you're giving the ultimatum in a sort of way, whereby, you know what? I don't have any more time to waste. I do not have any more time to waste. Unless you really want to move forward, you're going to have to call your lawyer and make some arrangements, because some separations are needed. That's for some of you. Okay, Spirit say take a card. Look at that. Oh my God. Gemini, Two of Pentacles. I just said some of you, small amount of you, it was like weighing the pros and cons. You know what? I'm going to have to call the lawyer, because we're going to have to start separating some things. Because unless you are ready to commit, we've been together for I don't know how long. Some of you are saying, and some of you could be also in a, like, there are different types of relationships. You know what I mean? And it's like, for example, some of you could be in a polyamorous relationship, and two people may be ready and one person may not be ready. Whatever the case may be for you. There are some hard talks of resources. You could be living together, and it's like, you know what? Is this going anywhere? So that's what the vibe is right here for a handful of you. I understand. I mean, I'm also sensing in this some of you regarding females who hit this description. Females have a biological clock, and it's like, your biological clock is ticking and you would like to start a family, and this person is taking forever to propose. So, it's like you have to make some hard talks. Okay, so let's continue, Gemini. Yeah, look at that. Because you're saying to yourself, with all of this that you're offering, okay, and all of this that you've made clear, and the concept of love and the energies that you put forth, you aren't stressing anymore. You've come to and I sense that with a higher frequency, like I said, a lot of you, large majority of you, Gemini, have come to the place where you actually don't need anybody. You're fine being by yourself, because your capabilities, your worth, your goals, your ethics, your quality. What you bring to the table. You are amazing. You understand? Anyone in their right mind would love to be with you. You know what I mean? You know who you are, and you don't need to be held down, held back by people who clearly still need some growing up in certain respects. I could just say it like that. Okay, Gemini, and it's like right here, Seven of Cups. It's like, you know what? There's so many more options. You don't have to tether yourself to whatever this is. Okay, Gemini? If they don't come stepping in a certain way, as you've met them in a certain way, then you can move on, pick, choose, and refuse. Okay? Okay, that's all. That's all. There's no long talking. Continue on. Look at that. King of Cups. What's coming through here is a couple things. Gemini, while some of you may not be satisfied in this dynamic, Spirit is saying, and I'm not, for a very small, for a very small amount of you, someone may be approaching you beyond your expectations, towards the 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 15th, 17th. Those are the numbers that hit my head. So a very small group of you, someone might actually say hello in a certain way. Okay? I sense it's a new person. So the hellos may come in a way whereby, it's just a casual greeting of sorts. So you could be in a situation, maybe, shopping, maybe at the mall, maybe at a park, whatever the case may be. And then there's a spark. Okay, that's a small group of you. But overall, the universe is saying, guess what? Even if this doesn't go in a certain way, which if it works out in certain ways, great, But even if it doesn't work out in that way, or if it was just for it's time for you to further admonish your worth, your quality, the greatness that you are, Gemini, there is love on the horizon for you. Okay? Love for career, love for self, love in family. It doesn't have to be your biological family. It could be a whole new family. Okay? Love in a relational aspect. There is promise of that on the horizon. Okay? It's up to you. If if this doesn't work, it's up to you to allow that energy to come in. Because this person right here, whoever they're very abundant in love. And some of you, like I said, this is love for yourself, where you can sustain yourself and moving forward with the type of lifestyle that you want. And you will grab it, the love aspect will be gravitated to you. And some of you will be very bold to move forward in offering your cup of love, your loving kingdom, because he's the King of Cups, to someone who's worthy of your time, who's worthy of your abundance, okay? Who's worthy of being lavished upon, okay? That is a promising understanding. That's powerful right there. I like that. Okay, so Gemini, normally this would be where I said we're going to take the rest of this to the extended, but like I said, I am including the extended in this reading. So please remember, it would be great if you would like, share, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, and feel free to further support the channel by becoming a Patreon member at patreon.com/Naveen Ferguson. The link is in the description box below. Okay, so let me drink some water. Okay, Gemini, so let's see what's happening down here for the 1st of March to the 11th of March, 2023. Now, when I'm flipping these cards here, they could be totally separate. They could be speaking towards the other individuals or people involved. They could even just be complimenting or clarifying the cards above. So we'll see what happens. Ooh, yes. Okay, so it looks like we're doing clarifications here. Look at that. The Devil, clarifying the Two of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles. What I'm sensing is you're done with this devil energy. This is nothing to concern yourself with. You've come to a place, Gemini, where you see through the illusions that the world has placed on the value of self, the expectations of love, okay, and the system of family as well, okay? You've come to a place where you've seen through the delusions, okay? This devil energy is no longer in your circle. See, because it's like you're not even you're not even stressing about this. You're just setting things plain as day in front of whomever, okay? You're not, like, how some of those, I'm not knocking teenagers, but, back in the day, I don't know if they still do that now. I have no idea. But anyway, back in the day, you have those teenage dramas and they get bent out of shape over nothing. Like, that's not important. That doesn't mean anything. It's like, you know what I mean? So it's like that type of energy, the devil right here, I'm sensing you're done. You are totally done. You're like zen calm with what you want and what you're going after. That is interesting. That's like a healing from a lot of stress and concerns that you realize they don't matter. It just doesn't. Let's continue on. Yes, look at that. The Ace of Swords makes perfect sense as it clarifies the Four of Pentacles. Because, like I told you, you are very concerned about, you do not want to repeat past actions where you were burnt in so many respects. Because clarifying the Four of Pentacles is the Ace of Swords. This is hard fought, like I always say, hard fought. You have, some of you, in a certain situation, you may have lost a lot. And you had to work really hard to get back what you lost. Okay? And some people, some family members as well, they're looking at, oh, you building yourself back up, and they're trying to, some of them, trying to weasel themselves back into your life and try to take advantage and say, it's not going to be like last time. You've worked so hard, too hard, come over hell and high water. You got through it. And where were they? Where were they? They were nowhere to be seen, Gemini. Okay? This is not just family members. They could be friends, co-workers, whatever. Okay? People who say they love you and stuff like that, they were nowhere to be seen. Nowhere to be seen. The minute that you could stop affording the dates and affording the good times out and all the kind of stuff, maybe something happened in your personal life and they just ghosted you, just left you. It's like, you know what? Never again. Never again will you be used and abused. Okay, Gemini? You have way more intuitive and very strong foundation in your intelligence as it pertains especially to the relational structures of life. You realize the value of who you are and the value that you bring and the value you put in and the value that you have came from and elevated. Okay? Gemini, you're not going, you will fight tooth and nail not to go back and not to be abused and used. Okay? That is a wonderful clarification for the Four of Pentacles. Because people think sometimes Pentacles grows on trees. They do not in certain respects. So let's continue on. And we have, look at that. Again with that energy. Because the first parts here, right, were technically the speaking your mind, speaking the layout, enacting the plan of that understanding, living, being uplifted to a place where you expect the other person to meet you at least halfway, if they're serious or not. Okay? So the Ten of Swords. You already made it very clear that you are no longer going through the arduous nature of where you came from. You've been down. You're not going back there. You don't want that again. Okay? And it's clarifying the Queen of Swords. That's why you are being very shrewd with when people come and speak those sweet things to you. When they promise these partnerships or these contracts or these elevations in certain business dynamics, you need to feel and see and the plan and make sure it makes sense. Gemini, you need to see the ink signed on the next agenda to know that these people are in it to win it and they're not just talking. Listen, you ain't up to be just taking no handshake, okay? That's back in the day. You don't need no handshake thing. Handshake out of courtesy, that's all well and good. But you need to know, sign it on the bottom line. Black and white, I need to see the print, okay? Okay, Gemini? And it's like, I sense a lot of you, you're not really interested in business partner per se. You can cooperate, but it's like you're fine on your own. It's like, you know? But when it comes to the relational aspect of things, you need someone who's coming with the same energy to move forward in life. You need someone who has work. You need someone who has history as well that you're looking for. With the Ten of Swords, is someone who can understand the level and the trials and the tribulations that you have gone through. They don't have to go through some extremes as yours, but they have to have the mature layout of life in certain respects. Okay, they need to understand where you're coming from and why you are making and saying certain things that you're saying. Okay, sometimes you don't need all this long talking. If you cannot understand what I'm saying and the reason why I'm doing it maturely in certain respects, then they're just not for you. They're just not for you. You understand? Why some of you, it's like you get to the point where it's like, you know what? I have no idea why you feel that it's necessary for me to explain why I don't care about the spilled milk. If you don't get that by now, in whatever sense that is, then you clearly aren't for me. Because I'm on a different wavelength. Okay? So that is what's coming through right here when it comes to the 10 of swords. You are not going back to those frustrations, and you need someone who is coming in, whatever capacity it is, to understand the frustrations. Okay, family members is like if certain people come back, it's like, yeah, okay, you coming back, but do you know the hell you put me through? Do you know the embarrassment I had to endure? Do you understand how extreme? And you are giving them another chance. But if they are not, giving some level of remorse to try to build that connection, then you're not going to stress about it. Say, okay, well, carry on smartly. Okay, Gemini, that's the whole vibe right there. So let's continue on. Like I said, right here, with the 5 of Wands and the 8 of Cups, like I said, when you go through this setup and explaining and all the kind of good stuff right here, right? Coming towards yourself even more so and all that kind of good stuff, some of them just aren't going to get it. You can't please everybody. Everybody's not just not. Everybody's just not. They're just not there yet. Okay, in certain respects, And it's like, you know what? You're not stressing about it. That's fine. Y'all could be there, and I'm just gonna go here. So clarifying that, we have, look at that Strength card. The Strength card is clarifying the 8 of Cups. The strength to literally cut ties, to move on. For some of you, you will need strength. It's literally just getting up and going. You don't need to send any notifications out. You don't need whatever, It's not necessarily that in some cases that you're ghosting or anything either. It's not like they can't reach out and call you and you treat them accordingly or whatever, And if they ask whatever, then you say, well, you're asking this and you're wondering why I left this. Well, I done said why I did it, and then you were irate. You didn't agree. You didn't understand whatever. But I made it as plain as day, and I heard your part too. And I told you that I didn't agree. I did not agree with your part. So clearly we can't agree. So I have to move on. That's all it is. That's literally all it is. And you have to have the strength to get that across. And some of you to move, because some of you have been in something for a deep, long time. Okay? So Spirit is saying you have the strength. Spirit is saying take a card for strength. Yeah, look. Oh my gosh. Look at that, Gemini. Spirit said take a card for strength. The Hangman. You are seeing life in a whole nother way. A new, like a out the box way. You need the strength to see that you are entitled to more of what they were offering. 2 major arcanas. You are entitled to peace. You are entitled to strength. You are entitled to move forward and not be held down or held back, held in place. Okay? You are going to see beyond this in certain capacities. If certain people can't understand, you're going to get the strength to move beyond. Okay, Gemini? Be encouraged. You will have the strength. So let's continue on, Gemini. What's happening here? Remember, I said for some of you, it's like you may need that hard talk, you may need to get the lawyer, just for a small amount of you. But overall, it's like you're moving forward with how you see your vision and love affairs happening, and, just focusing on the dynamics and the structures moving forward as it comes to the concept of love. Let's see the clarification. Yeah, look at that. The Hierophant. That is so interesting. What's coming through is a pairing with this, and I'll get that to that with the Two of Pentacles in a second. But when it comes to also clarifying the Hierophant with the Five of Pentacles, when you are putting your life in certain respects moving forward, you are being very critical, like I said over here with the black and white signage, as it were. You've come to a place where you will not go back into a poverty mindset of your caliber, of your expertise, of your growth, of your quality, which you bring to the table. You're not going to go back to believing what's coming across here, believing the conceit, the ill malcontent, the stressful lies of verbal abuse, okay, which I'm sensing here. You're not going to allow that to take away your joy. You're not going to allow those experiences that you've come from to dampen your light, okay? You're not having this. You're not believing this poverty mindset, this lacking mindset, okay? You're not going to allow yourself to be diminished anymore, okay? And as it relates to this right here, to the Two of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles for some of you, what I'm sensing is that when you do get to speak with the lawyers and whatever have you, or the hard talks that may have to happen in this relational dynamic, some of you may have to give up. Some of you may have to give up some things in order to move forward. But that's fine. That's fine. Spirit is saying that's fine. You know, there's hardly a price of anything price, probably no price, that you could put on one's sanity. That's what's coming across. Okay? So if you, legally speaking, don't have a foot to stand on, you know, as it pertains to resources and allocations, all that kind of stuff, then you know what? You'll be just fine without that. Okay? There's better things coming for you, Spirit say. Take a card. Yeah, look at that. The Star. There are abundance and miracles that you have not even experienced, or even there's no inclination that things will get better out of that, but they will. The Star is saying miraculous things will happen. Doors will open up. You will not be alone. You will be taken care of. Okay? Abundance will be flowing. Okay? This is the promise of a transformation and coming into a newness that it's like unspeakable. It's like an unspeakable newness. Okay? So for some of you, yeah, you will have to give up certain luxuries. Perhaps you got benefits about being in that relationship. But guess what? There's better for you. The Star. Okay, Gemini? That's for some of you who may be going through that legality. Okay, so moving on, and right away you see there's more options for you, okay, Gemini, in that regard. Okay, so the clarification for the Seven of Cups, Gemini, is, yeah, look at that, Justice. I actually don't need to say anymore. Your karma is continuing to be bright and growing and bringing in all the goodness and the joy that is to you. Okay, again, if this does not work out, Spirit is saying you have more than enough options. Pick, choose, and refuse. Okay, justice is coming in your way. Clarifying the Seven of Cups is going to bring things to your hands, to your fingertips. Hey, this is yours. Weigh it out how you want. Okay, it's going to be bright. There are things coming behind the scenes in that regard with justice. Listen, if this does not work out in certain respects, whatever the case is for you, there's better job opportunities out there for you. There's better romance. There's more family dynamics that can be built. It's fine, okay? And you will have the peace that was always due to you. A lot of you went through the work. You've earned this. You've earned this peace. Ace of Swords. Okay, Gemini? You went through the ringer in the concept of love, Gemini. Look at that. You went through it. Okay? Some of you have taken a long time to heal. Spirit is saying, don't worry. Justice will be served. Okay? So let's see the clarification for the King of Cups. And remember, I said some of you, sooner than later, you know, someone, you may just meet someone special. That's for a handful of you. But for the majority of you, there's definitely love on the horizon in so many respects. That's love for yourself and elevation, love in family dynamics, love for career path, and love in relational aspects. Okay? It's coming. Clarification for the King of Cups. Look at that. I mean, oh, Gemini, I cannot make this stuff up. This is ridiculous. The Page of Cups. The same person I said is coming to offer you that cup of love. Okay? They're coming to offer it to you. That's a handful of you. There is someone very close who's coming to knock on your door. May not necessarily knock on your door. Like I said, you may meet them out in a certain respect. Or they could knock on your door. You could be living in a certain dynamic, maybe an apartment complex or condo or something like that, or a neighbor or something, and they knock on your door to borrow a cup of sugar and say, hey, come in, have some drinks. You know? But yeah. And for some of you that is not entirely immediate, you are going to have that cup of love, love for yourself, family, career path, all that kind of good stuff. It's coming. It is approaching. Okay? It's approaching, Gemini. So, let's see. Is all this in camera? Oh my gosh. I get scared sometimes. Okay, so, so let's see what the overall angel message is for the whole vibe, Gemini. Look at that. Yeah, makes perfect sense. And I'm seeing the whole thing that I said in this one card, the 8 of Wands. Starting off, there is conversations and things setting down, the structure and order and all the history, all the kind of good stuff, right? And then in this part here, going towards your peace and happiness, okay? Whereby, so the Wands is a lot of that talk and stuff like that, communication, action and stuff like that. And the latter part is definitely the lambs, this grazing, peacefully, calmly going towards their better days. You know what I mean? And the clarification, yeah, look at that. The 7 of Pentacles. Your harvest of love is coming. Some of you, the fruit will be riper faster than most, okay? But it is happening. You've already set down the ground rules, like I said, regarding who you are and the transformation that you're going through, Gemini. A lot of you, if not all of you, are elevating in so many higher levels, higher frequencies, okay? And your quality, your worth, some of you have been verbally abused. I really do sense a handful of you. And my heart goes out to you, and I send you positive love and light and healing, okay? You are worth it. You are capable, okay? You are beautiful. You are intelligent. You are wise. Okay, you are handsome. Okay, you are capable. You can do a lot. You are great. Okay, you are abundant. Okay, you are loved. You are important. You are needed. Okay, Gemini? And this right here, there's so much potential in you. It's about to manifest, and you're going to further. You know, when you have a lot of fruits on the table and stuff like that, on the tree and stuff like that, see some of these people, these sheep catching the eye. It's like, oh, is that ripening soon? It's like, now you have a squirrel up there looking at, oh my God, this pentacle is looking amazing. Like, Gemini, you looking amazing. Some of you will be getting a glow up, okay? Love in so many aspects, so many aspects. You see, that's more than one. This is 7 pentacles. So many aspects of love is coming your way. Just be patient and continue to be diligent in the development of yourself, okay? You are beautiful. You are handsome. You are sexy. You are intelligent. You are wise. You are important. You are needed. You are loved. Okay, Gemini? Okay, so I really do hope that this has helped you in some way. Please remember to, oh my gosh, sometimes I forget that whole line. You like, share, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon. What else? Hit the bell icon. Oh yeah, feel free to further support the channel by becoming a Patreon member at patreon.com/Naveen Ferguson. The link is in the description box below, and I am also offering personal readings now, and that information is also in the description box below. I wish you all the best, Gemini. Bye.